And hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome to the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps. Welcome to Belgium. Welcome to what can only be described as the best circuit in the world. No questions answered. That's definitive fact. Joining me in the comment box today is someone I haven't commentated before. I'm excited. He's very Scottish, and it is Andy.
Yes, and just to point out, it's the non-ginger version Scottish Andy here this evening. Hello and welcome to round number 6 of the team event here on the PlayStation 4. Looking forward to this around Spa-Francorchamps. As you say, I totally agree. Best track in the world, and really looking forward to a good race. And looking forward to commentating alongside you as well, Evo. The first time we've been in the commentary box together.
It's been a while since I've commentated with someone new. I'm excited. I've been wanting to commentate with you for quite a while, so it's a pleasure. Well, we've got a lot of people ready. I've been waiting for 3 of the boys to jump in, so just waiting a little bit. Now, the last couple of rounds has been exciting. We've seen actions, drama, a lot of very interesting moves. I'm expecting Spa, with its absolutely beautiful long straight, we're going to see quite a good battle, don't you think, Andy?
Definitely so. Going to be plenty of slipstreaming up Eau Rouge over the top of Radion towards Les Combes as well, so that's where we're going to see quite a lot of reaction. But even the run from Stavelot down to Blanchimont and into the bus stop chicane at the end of the lap as well is, you know, you're going to see some late breaking moves into there. It's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top. It's been very interesting so far. Williams Esports are at the top of the standings. UV running the Ferraris in second, and Vodafone Giants, and see if they can extend any of their points advantages tonight, or if someone else wants to step up to the plate.
Yeah, indeed, we've always got to look out for that run down to turn 1, but first we've got a very good qualification. We're going to see cars flying probably straight out. The question is, what is the weather going to be? Is it going to be dry and sunny? Are we going to see some rain? Who knows what the weather gods are going to give?
You can never tell when it comes to the Ardennes Forest. It's got its own microclimate. It can be raining up at La Source and it can be bone dry when you get up to Les Combes. But we will soon see as the drivers are getting ready to head out onto the track for the start of the session. Some people already jumped in the chat. Hello to those that have actually given me a wee shout as well. Appreciated. That's some of my F2Com people, so thank you very much for the shout out. But this is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to this, and hoping, unlike last time when I was in with Game and Ali Moda Austria, that my connection holds up. Fingers crossed, it's been good so far.
Yeah, well, let's not curse that one. Well, I'm here, so cursing is my thing, and we've already got one retirement. Now, that's Leon, so he's already in a bit of trouble, but all the cars in the pit lane here in Belgium, and it's going to be fun to see what they're going to do. I'm expecting a lot of quick drivers. First guy's coming out, one of the Haas, one of the Force Indias. So let's see then. We've got Tim coming out, and everyone else jumping on the circuit as well. So it's going to be fun to see, Andy, who is going to be the quickest man on this circuit today. Who do you think is going to be up there?
Well, I mean, there's obviously a good number of drivers that could be up there. We've got some of the best, if not the best drivers on the console. Jarno has been doing extremely well in this event so far. He's taken a couple of victories. He's been on the podium just about every week that he's raced as well for S2V. He's here tonight as well, currently on his outlap. Obviously the Williams boys, they're leading the way in the team point standings as well. They can never be counted out, and Vodafone Giants are usually pretty good as well. They've got Lucas and Nardi here tonight, who's currently looks like he might be going for the soft tyres, but it's pretty much anybody's, you know, especially around here. If there was to be any sort of weather or a safety car, it can really just throw it up. Longest track in the calendar. You just never know what to expect when you come to Belgium.
Yep, 7.44 kilometres, wrapping it way around the Ardennes Forest. First hosted a Grand Prix on this layout in 1985 after a 15-year absence from the original circuit. Of course, came off Canada in the 1970 season after it was boycotted after Jackie Stewart and his comrades decided the circuit was a bit too dangerous. This version of the circuit that we're currently looking at had its new chicane added in 2006. So, a circuit with a steep history. Are we going to see some more history today? Well, we're going to find out.
Definitely are going to find out. It looks like the first driver that's going to be coming across the line to start a lap is Nick in the Haas, so he's going to be the first one to go across the line. And interesting to see a lot of people going out on the super soft tyres straight away as well. If my memory serves me correctly, it's super soft, soft and mediums around here, if I've got my memory correct. Yep. And it's interesting to see quite a lot of them going for super softs early doors, because the more optimum strategy is to go soft to medium or medium to soft. So we'll see if maybe some of them are just looking at getting themselves into the top 10 easy enough, or if they just fancy putting in a bit of an easier banker lap on these softer tyres. We'll soon see, as the trying laps have now started, and every single driver, all 17 drivers here tonight, are out on track already.
Yeah, we're watching now. Nick got a good slipstream there from Danny, I think that was in the background in the Ferrari. Yes, it is down into the long right-hander, down towards the newly named X corner. It's no longer called No Name, it's now X, for anyone who used to remember that old No Name corner. Now down into Poo. I mean, what's for the curves on the inside here? Very high in the air. If you hit them, we're all going to see the cars very much not going into that. Like, down into the Fanny's okay, nice and gentle, fourth gear, let the car roll on the exit here. Build up the power, down into the last couple of corners, then into Stabilo, and then we got the long run down in towards Blontiman. We got Lee just ahead of him then, so we get a nice toe off. I believe that's his teammate, is that not yet? So teammates going to work together down the straight then. And he should get out of the way just out of the exit of Blontiman. See a bit compromising here. He should pull to the inside. Yeah, there we go then. So he's going to let him go round the outside then. So good lap and good timing then. Through into the bus stop, the new bus stop. Exiting, and this could be a very decent lap. Should be about a 41 across the line, and it's a 41.2. So good lap straight out the box.
Definitely a very nice lap there from Nick, getting a bit of help from his teammate, as you say, Lee Finlay down through Blanchimon up to the chicane. Now Nick might just repay the favour to the Scotsman on this lap all the way up towards Les Combes, but Jarno goes into the 1 minute 40s in his very first attempt straight out the box there in the Ferrari. 1 minute 40.883, so 4 times clear off the Haas driver already. Williams, Jim Timms on there as well, and the two Reynolds in 4th and 5th at the moment, they are Risi and Clarkey. So the lap time starting to come in very quick and fast here, and we'll just need to keep an eye on that timing board as it changes, chops and changes. There you go, there's Jim Roy going up into second in the Williams. So it's going to be like a fruit machine at certain points right now as the drivers come flying across the line for the first time here in the qualifying session. But it is Jarno carrying on the form already that he's had earlier on in this event, and he's currently in provisional pole position, just shy of 2 times clear Williams at Jim Roy.
Noddy there, thought about coming in the pit then all of a sudden, but then suddenly decided, no you're not, I'm going to go for another lap. So Toro Rosso, a little bit slow right now getting out of the box, but we've got 12 whole minutes to go in qualifications. The qualifying, of course, extended on this game quite somewhat from the last game. Sometimes catches me out, but it's going to be fun to see what they can do. They've got a long time to go. We've got Shelley and everyone else still to set their laps as well down the back. Let's see who's going to be the next car to cross the line. I think it might be Shelley. He's currently coming through Blanchimon. Bit of smoke coming out the back of the Alfa Romeo, but I think that might just be graphical. Coming through the last couple of corners. Is he going to come in the pit? Yes, he does. He bows out of his lap then, so no laps for those guys. That's going to be a bit worrying. They won't be getting one soon, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't want to be leaving it too late to get a lap on the board, but we see this quite often in the actual league races. Some drivers go out early doors trying to just put a lap on. If they feel they've messed up or invalidated, they'll just head straight back to pit lane and maybe try something a bit different, maybe try and put the more optimal race tyres on instead, and just using the first lap as a bit of a banker, a bit of a sighter to see what they can do. And just keeping an eye here on Lucas, who's coming through the final sector now. He's just had to back out of the lap though there. He got a bit of held up possibly by Jim Roy in the Williams, or he's invalidated and he's heading back for pit lane, so I thought he was going to come across the line there and finish a lap, but he's bailed out on that, and that means that everyone that has set a lap is probably on their way back to pit lane, apart from Nardi, who's the only driver to have gone out on the soft tyres so far. So he's the only one going for an alternate strategy, still in 10th place, but he's just improved by about 5 seconds on his original banker lap. So you keep an eye on that, because there might be a few drivers try that later on into the session, but it's still Jarno at top at the moment, doing very well for S2V.
Yeah, well, let's see. We've got Shelley in the pit lane still, we believe. Most likely sandbagging right now, ready to go on their lap. We've got Hugo just coming through to begin his lap. Surely he's coming through the very famous Blanchimont corner wave. You've seen some spectacular accidents. I always remember Berretti and Irvine crashing down. I think it was 2001. So, don't think we're going to see that spectacular of an accident on this game. Luckily, because you don't want to see a car flying upside down into a barrier. But it's not Project Car. We've got Dordos coming up the hill as well. So all of them starting to come out on their out laps and indeed on their laps as well. But right now, the only real man on circuit on their lap right now will be Hugo. He's got a few cars ahead of him. I think that might be his teammate Alonso not too far up the road. So let's see, what can Hugo do? He did pretty decent last time out, but the traffic down here, that's going to compromise him, Andy, on his lap.
Definitely. So it's Jan or Davidos as I know him as, they're up ahead of him. They're just coming out off the pit lane on their outlaps. Jarno's realised it, so he's got well out of the way of the McLaren driver. Hopefully the Sauber driver recognises as well, and he does, stays well out of the way through Brussels as they come through X corner, former no name, so not held up there for the McLaren driver Hugo, and he's on his way now, chucking that into Pujon there, a little bit wide on the exit. Could maybe have picked up an invalidation, but he keeps his foot firmly planted to the floor, and he might be invalidated because I can see his battery's down at only at 1, so he's charging the battery back up. Maybe not too happy with that lap, maybe, who knows, but not using much of the battery. He's now just turned it back up as he comes out of Stavolo and heads towards the run for Blanchimont. Still to set a lap time yet, the McLaren driver, and he's coming through towards Blanchimont now, over 200 plus miles an hour. You were absolutely spot on with your history as well, Evil. It was 2001 for Bertie and Irvine, an absolute thunderous shunt it was as well. But here comes Hugo into the bus stop chicane, down to first gear, and he's heading for pit lane like a lot of drivers have also. There were still just 10 drivers that have set a lap time so far in the session.
Yeah, 10 set. We've got Lucas. He's yet to set his lap. He's coming through the bus stop to begin what will be his next lap. He'll probably have 3 laps if he wants to go for it. Not advised, of course, to do 3 flying laps on the run. The tyres will not pay very much back, of course. Let's see, down towards turn number 1, braking nice and late down into the Source hairpin. Let the car slide all the way out, now down to where the old start line used to be back in the 60s. There it goes, then the old endurance start line. Alfa routes into Radion they come then. Nice and flat, we don't see any lifts in these cars unless it's the wet. And he seems to be revving out a little bit too much there, but he's going to switch up to 8th gear, down the long Camel straight, down towards what is now the Lecombe chicane, where the circuit used to go off flying left there. We chuck it into the right-handers then, and this is where you can see cars slip and slide, normally in the dry and the wet. Very treacherous corner. I've been off there a few times. Fernando Alonso's seen that spectacularly as before as well in 2010. Down into X corner, nice and gentle there. Yellow flags flying in sector 2 and 3. Never mind that, down towards Puyon. 170 miles an hour down into 6th gear, up to 170 on the exit then. Good exit. Now, what's up for the family chicane? Brake it nice and easy. Get the car turned in on the apex. Let the car roll through to the second part, then just power on. What's the rear end, however, and he gets up pretty decently. Down into Stavelot. Into the first one, into the second one, a bit wide. What's out to the barrier on the right? Can catch you out there on the curbs. Gets that beautifully done. Down to Blanchimont. This, to me, looks like a good lap. Got one car up the road. That is of Danny, I think. That is in the Ferrari getting out of his lap. Down towards Blanchimont on the curb. He gets away with it. Down into the bus stop. Lid on the brakes. 200 miles an hour. Down to about 60, 50 miles an hour. Up to first. Into second. Build the revs. Let's see. Can he go up onto the front row? Goes on the 8th right now. But a decent lap nonetheless.
Still a decent lap time there for the first lap out for Lucas there. While you were watching that lap time, it's now Williams 2-3 as Jim Timms just put himself up into second, splitting his teammate in Jarno. Arisi's now split the FAP boys as well in 5th place in the Reynolds. So still movements going on. The top 9 covered by just over half a second at the moment, top 10 by just under a second. So still very close out there at the moment. All the drivers, everybody except Alonso and Maria in the pit was retired, and I'm not too sure why that was. Maybe reason behind for something. Maybe someone in the chat can bring us up to speed in regards to that one, because I've not had the time to research that far, unfortunately. 6 minutes to go, and Jarno's initial lap time is still the best at the moment, 1 minute 40.883.
Yeah, backing off there. I think that was one of the runners going through. Yeah, that is of a racing coming through the corner. He's doing good in the runner right now. He's quite way ahead of his teammate. They're about, well, 2 tenths. Not too much, but in this it's all the matter. There's only some 2 tenths. Great camera shot there on the rear ring. Down through Stavelot, down towards Blontimont. He's going to get a good total course from that Ferrari he had earlier on. So, slingshots his way through. And let's see where he can go. 130, you think he'd probably be backing off of this lap potentially. Yeah, he shouldn't be doing too well, so he'll probably come in the pit lane then, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, he does, but yeah, no, it was a good first sector for him. He's backed out of it, probably giving his teammate Danny a bit of slipstream, actually. He's already down in 14th. Let's see, comes across the line. He took it up pretty decently, up to 10th, so starting to come through the field a little bit now. He's ahead of Lee. And Lee, of course, ready and going in the Haas right now. His teammate, a little bit further up the road of him, of course. But we're expecting anything. We're still waiting for the Mercedes of Barry. And, of course, Leon, who is, of course, out of qualification. We don't know why or what's happened there, but hopefully someone can let us know.
Yeah, Danny getting himself into the top 10, as you say. That's on the soft tyres as well too, so I'll be interested to see if anyone fancies going for the softer medium tyres before the end of the session. But the top 9 and the majority of drivers all setting their times on those softest, super soft red compound tyres at the moment. And with 4 and a bit minutes to go, most of the drivers are in pit lane. We've only got Danny and Lee Findlay out on track at the moment, and I believe they will be heading back to pit lane. So there's a couple of cars starting to come out of pit lane. Shelley's out of pit lane, Nick's coming out of pit lane as well. It's the calm before the storm now, before the end part of qualifying. Who's going to take pole position here for round number 6 of this team event? It's at the moment, it's Jarno still up there on pole position, but it could be anybody's. As you can see, the top 10 covered by 3/4 of a second, 7 tenths cover the top 10, and out of those that have set a lap, even if you go down to Nardi on the stop, there's 1.5 seconds covers the field at the moment of those that have set a lap time. We've got a calm before the storm just now. Wee bit in the chat there, Leon got a qualifying ban and Barry's not set a lap time because he's had 2 invalidations during the lap, so thank you very much to Alizria. I've probably said that completely wrong and completely butchered your name there, I do apologise, but thank you very much for the information, helps us out.
Yeah, Danny also, he's gone on the soft tyres, possibly just scrubbing those set up for the last part of qualifying, so he'll come back in, probably check chuck a set of super softs in. He's got 3 minutes to go, not too long to get a lap out, of course. You want to be careful and catch themselves out. Jarno, of course, is coming up about a Radion down the Camel Straight, so everyone getting ready to go. Who will be the first man to start a lap time? I think it might be Shelley.
Shelley, yeah.
He's just coming down into the last couple of corners, so let's see what the Alpha driver can do, or the Sauber driver, it's however you want to call it. So, first flying lap in the final part of a qualification there, and let's see, is it going to be the number 38, the Sauber driver, into the source, and let's see what he can do. Get the rear end very slightly there. We'll have one car up the road from him, not sure who that is. It might be one of the Hasses just up the road, but he'll get a massive tow here, so this could be pretty good for his lap, don't you think, Andy? Slipstream and go around the outside. Gets through quite easily. So slipstream power, that was of Lee, I think, actually just behind. Gets through rather easily then. And towards the comp, easy go. Through the corner, letting themselves run out wide. A little bit too wide, they go on the grass. Luckily for him, not going to spin the car around and gets away for another time. Down towards X corner. Nice and gentle here. Don't let the car run out. Of course, it's actually for that. I think he's backed off his lap.
Yeah, it was toe off. Elite Findlay got up towards the comms, but not working out. I'm just keeping an eye on Williams' Jim Timms. He's about 4 tenths up in the first sector on his best lap, so this could be a good one here for the Williams driver as we come in to the final minute of the session. Jarno's just starting his lap as well. Shelley's out there still too, so plenty of drivers out there. Everybody's out on track now, and I'll be interested to see if anybody can knock that Ferrari off the top step, off the provisional pole position here around Spa. Yellow flag in sector 2, probably driver slowing down through the final sector, still following Tim through the final sector, and it's a car of his teammate Jim Roy trying to get out of the way of another driver. So now the Williams boys working in tandem. Now that is a slipstream effect here as Roy slows Tim down towards Blanchimont, but they've got another car up ahead which is really going to play havoc, and it looks like Tim stays out of the way. Danny's going to have to be aware the Williams is coming through. It's worked out nicely for the Williams there, good toe in Blanchimont, and Danny stayed out of the way. Can this be pole position for Williams Esport with Jim Tim? He goes across the line, and it is at the moment a 40.7, just shy of a 10th clear of Jarno in the Ferrari, but he is currently on a lap time at the moment, heading through the Fandries chicane, heading towards Stavolo just now as the timer ticks down towards 0 as we're about to get the checkered flag. We'll keep an eye on who's coming across the line next. I'm trying to see who might be actually next one to come
Lucas
over the line. We've got Nick off the track at Lecom, so that's what the yellow flag is. He's retired from the session on track, so that's a bit naughty of him. He needs to be careful of that one. And the checkered flag now falls, and Lucas has just put himself up into second place as well, so he's managed to get across the line too, and he's now towing his teammate Nardi up the hill as well. So timer has expired. Who's going to take pole position? Williams are there at the moment as Jarno responds. Well, 1 minute 40.7, phenomenal lap time there.
Absolutely on the point now. I was just rotting there. Yep, Lucas up to P3. Good spot from you. Clarkey in P4. Is this coming through the first chicane? We've got a few cars backing up that. We've got Roy. He wants to be getting a lap time on as well. He's got no toe, of course, from anyone, so that's going to rather hurt his lap a little bit there. He's got one car a little bit up the road. That's the Alpha, I think. That might be just up the road. Yes, it is. That's going to just kind of get out of his way. Yep, nice and gentle there. So let's see what Roy can do then down into the third sector then. A 29.3, a pretty decent then. He's got his teammate just up the road as well, and I think he may have backed off his lap there, even though he's on 0. So he's going to carry on either way, but I think he may have backed off of it, but he's going to carry on.
Hugo's just popped himself up into P6 in the McLaren. Arisi coming across the line, and the Renault now stays in 8th place, so no improvement there for him. Shelley's heading to the line, but he's not going to complete the lap. Roy's headed for pit lane, so Clarkey's coming through Stavolo. He is the only driver.
Sorry to cut over you, Randy. There's been a bit of an incident here down the straight down towards Pyramid. Got 1, 2, 3 cars off. There's I think that might be because the sessions ended there. But we got Dordos, I think. Who was that also involved? Can't really see well because the Force India. Now, what has happened there? I think that might just be the AI taking over and being a bit ambiguous and crashing. But Barry not going to set a lap time either. He will start down the back, of course, with those 2 invalidations. Didn't get a lap in, so that is a little bit disappointing, wouldn't you say that?
Definitely so, and Clarkey pulled into pit lane there, so that is it. Everybody's crossed the line, and it's Jarno who takes pole position by 3/100ths of a second from Tim in second, Lucas in third for Vodafone Giants, Clarkey in fourth, having aborted the final lap there, and Roy in fifth, so Williams second and fifth there, looking good to extend their lead in the team's championship at the moment. Hugo, a good last lap, puts himself into sixth, Nardi in seventh, Shelley in eighth for FAP, and then it was Arisi at ninth, and it was Dorbos, or Davidos as I know him as, I believe, finished off in 10th place. But not the greatest qualifying session for CPI. Barry invalidating starting at the back, and Leon with a qualifying ban means it's a Mercedes back roll.
Well, what it does mean, I suppose, they can go on a different strategy. I presume they'll start on the medium tyres. It's pretty much obvious I'd imagine, but they might not settle on those harder compounds, but very likely they will be on the mediums. Everyone else, of course, on their current tyres, apart from the top. Everyone outside the top 10, who I believe still get the free choice of tyres, if I'm not mistaken, so expect them possibly to go on softs. A few of them will still start on the super softs. But it is going to be Jarno and Tim going down into turn number 1. I can only see fireworks down into turn number 1. It's a short run into the source, so anything can happen. What's out for the second row as well? We've seen brilliant starts before, and we're going to see more brilliant starts today. What is the weather going to be? That is also the question.
Well, I'm thinking back actually, I think it's set to be dry no matter what for this event, so I don't think we need to worry about that. And there is, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, and it'll be interesting to see If anyone outside the top 10 goes to Super Sauce, I will be quite surprised, because you're almost kind of pushing yourself towards a two-stop strategy, or the possibility of really having to go long on a one-stop and risk a puncture at the end. So I'll be absolutely shocked if anyone's on Super Sauce outside that top 10, but it's going to be a fun race. It's going to be an interesting race. Obviously, quite a short run down to La Source, very slow corner. We've seen plenty of incidents, as you mentioned. Obviously, remember last year, obviously, Alonso launched over the top of Charles Leclerc's Sauber after getting hit in the rear by Nico Hülkenberg. 1998, probably one of the biggest accidents in F1 history. Took out about, what was it, 16 cars or something in the rain. So phenomenal. Maybe not as many as I thought then, but huge shunt it was. So anything can happen here. I've seen it in league races as well. Going up Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time, I've seen plenty of people lose it going up the hill as well, and that's something that'll need to be watched as well. And Leon is doing exactly what I expected nobody to do. In 16th place, he's got the super softs on all the way down the field, so he's obviously going to want to use the grip of those tyres to try and launch himself off the line and make up as many places as quickly as possible. But for me, with 22 laps around the longest track in the calendar, it's a very strange choice for me.
Yeah, it's going to be audacious, so he's going to have to gamble on getting past, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars really, all those on the differing strategies, and open up quite a big gap on them, unless he's gambling on either a safety car or a VSC coming out. That will have to pay into his strategy, but we'll find out in due course. We've got, of course, Shelley. Excited to see what he can do. He's always very good at making tyres last these days with his beautiful pink helmet. Of course, got Nardi and Lucas. What's what they can do? Of course, Jarno very much going to try and bolt it off the start, get away from that DRS, do a circa Vettel 2013 and try and just open up already. You can see him pushing quite hard on this formation lap, so he wants to get it over and get this race started as soon as they can, so they're going for it immediately on the formation lap. Excitement. Tim, he's going to have to try and make something work down into the first corner. The source, he'll have the, I think the outside line if I'm not mistaken, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. The question is, though, can he get the run up towards the Camel and down in to the Com? That's going to be the more imposing question, Andy. If he can do that, he's going to have a good chance of going around the outside.
Definitely so. The slipstream up over Radion down to Lecombs is going to be interesting, because whoever's out in front is obviously a bit of a sitting duck in some instance, because they've got no slipstream. Everyone else is slipstreaming at all the other cars, so whoever gets through Lecombs and goes up the hill first is not in the greatest position to defend into Lecombs, and it could be that that's where the initial move is taken in this race. But 22 laps around this track, it's a long race, and we're starting on super softs. There's going to be a degree of tyre management required as well, unless we see a safety car during this race. But they're starting a lineup now for round 6 of this event, and I'm going to leave it to you, Evo, to take us through lap 1.
Well, cars are ready. We've got the last car, the Mercedes, bringing up the back row. But who's it going to be then? Down towards turn number 1 with the lights are on. They will go off, and we've got 5 ahead of the drivers. And who's it going to be? Is it Jarno or is it Tim? Lights are on for an age, but we're underway then. It's a good start immediately from Jarno. Tim already tying to the inside, I think then. What's out for Lucas into turn 1? We're going to see it cleanly through. I think we are then. Down into turn number 1. Everyone cleanly through, and that's what we want to see then as they come down the hill towards their route. And it's a brilliant start indeed from Jarno. It was already opening the gap, but here he comes then, slipstream type. Who's it going to be? And already you can see Tim closing up. He's going to pull to the left. He'll force him to go left. We've got a few cars also darting around as well. 2-3 breast in the background. Already though, slipstream, they're going to go 3 wide almost into the braking zone, round the outside. Here goes Tim. Can he do it? He's going to squeeze. He'll have the outside here into the next corner. He'll be squeezed wide into the gravel. Look at the car running wide. That's Lucas, I think, going off the circuit nearly. Brilliant start from Jarno. Defends that perfectly. Tim just sitting there trying to make a move. Now he's under pressure immediately there from Lucas. Ryan Clark here already getting good starts. Right up to P4 now. So a few drivers making immediate starts then. Already Danny down in 11th. So a few drivers making mistakes. Barry and Leon making good starts as well. But Jarno crucially holds the lead.
Yeah, holds on to the lead. Good driving up the hill there. Good defensive driving from the Ferrari driver. Down the field, the two Salba droids were using each other for slipstream. Dordos has had a great start, up 3 places. Leon on those super softs, doing exactly what he needs to do. He's already up 6 places to 10th place and holding off the Ferrari of Danny as they come through. Stavolo, a few of them at the back there, running very wide towards that wall on the outside, but managing to hold off at the moment. We're going to go side by side. Nardi and Leon into Blanchimont nearly together, and Danny's going to try and go the long way round and gets the move on the Toro Rosso. So move up there as Hugo sneaks up the inside on Clarkey into the chicane, gets that move done on the Renault as well. So that's another place for the McLaren driver, and now Clarkey has to defend from the two Salbas coming up behind as they head into La Source for the second time and come flying down the hill towards Origin Radio. And who's going to fancy their chances heading up towards Lecombe for the second time? But Leon is doing a great job on those super softs, exactly what he needs to do, up 7 places by the end of lap 1. So fantastic up there from the Mercedes driver as they head down the straight towards Lecombe. And up front, Tim is looking at the back of Jarno, going to the outside, weaving, looking to go to the inside again, but Jarno keeps the defensive line, holds it through the corner and holds on to first place. But Lucas is in there as well, and it is getting very tasty all through the field. They're still very close together, and if they still stay this close when the DRS is enabled next lap, we could end up with an extremely long F1 train through most of this race.
Yeah, well, Jarno's got the Jarno train, I suppose, so living up to his certain trolley train, it's the Jarno train now, so let's see who's it going to be. So we've got Jarno from Tim, Lucas right up to P4, he made a decent start. Hugo into 5th, Clarkey into 6th, Dordos now up into 7th ahead of his teammates Shelley. Leon with that fantastic start already up as well into the top 10, he's in 9th. Then we got Danny, who's just sticking with him. He's on the alternate strategy. Well, he made a good start, a few possessions. Nardi, and then we've got the Renner of races. Then we've got Nick, Simbo, Barry, Lee, and Alonso. Immediately then, here we go, slipstream. We have Nardi having a little look on Danny right now, down towards the bus stop. Let's see if he's let's see who's brave on the brakes. We've got 2 cars, 3 cars potentially in firing distance as well. Up the inside he goes, thinks of it. What's that? Don't clip the rear end of that Ferrari around. Oh there! And that's a bit of contact on the exit. And that there is the Renault having a look. And now we go 3 abreast down the straight in towards Lecombe. This could be very interesting. I think actually they're backing off, so only 2 abreast now. Then up the inside goes the Haas. He says thank very much, squeezes them out wide. And Bob's your uncle gets position 3 in the background. There we've got a few cars running side by side as well. That there is Simbo and Nardi. Nardi's been absolutely caught out. It has to back off down the bottom of our road to come up rattling. Huge slide from Simbo there and gets a penalty as well. And here immediately comes a race. He's straight back at Nick. So Nick will go defensive. Does do so. On the outside will go him, and we have a new leader, by the way, as I've just noticed it there. Just as we come down the straight, Tim has just got Jarno, just as we were looking at it.
Yeah, just sort of following him up the hill there. Sorry, he was getting DRS. It was an easy bit of a slam dunk move. Jarno had to defend from Lucas because he fancied trying to follow the Williams through. But Tim up into the lead of the race for the DRS, powerful all the way up to Lecombs, and that's him moved into the lead. But Jarno will try and stick close and try and repay the favour next time by. And the more these go, Lucas has ran wide there through the Fandra chicane heading towards Stavolo, so that's going to allow Roy and Hugo the chance to be right onto the back bumper of that Toro Rosso coming through Stavolo heading towards Blanchimont. But the DRS is going to be extremely powerful the longer these guys stay in a big train. They're just going to all be following each other massively, and we see the first 3-second time penalty of the race be handed out to Barry down in 15th place for multiple warnings. So it only took 3 laps for him to pick up his first warning. That's not too good this early in the race.
Well, let's see what anything can do. We have good old JD in the chat as well, so few people jumping in, so exciting to see everyone coming through down towards turn number 1. Tim locking up, Jarno in the background as well, locking up as well. The top 3 all going at it. DRS activated on this lap, so I imagine immediately that Tim's going to be in a huge amount of trouble right now up in the front. Runs a little bit wide, here we go. Then Jarno is going to have a mega run. I think he's going to have to go cover him, is Tim. He's going to have to go to the inside. Let's see, it's not going to be too much contest then if he can do it around the outside. Not too much speed in that Ferrari though, so a little bit too slow there. In the background there, running wide there, goes to Toro Rosso, and I think around the outside immediately goes right, so he capitalises on a small mistake straight up into P3. And Lucas, I think he locked the front right up there, so struggling with those stops getting down into the com. But Jarno could not get the speed out of that Ferrari, so he must have a bit of a different setup than Tim.
Tim was very clever. He saved his battery up knowing he was going to be attacked. He had it turned up to 4 or 5. He was in hot lap overtake mode, and that's what made the difference. Just kept him just far enough ahead of Jarno going into the comms, and just using it very tactically to make sure he stayed in the lead of the race for now. Leon, though, doing brilliant at the moment, up in 8th place in that super soft shod Mercedes. 8 places gained from the start of this race. The biggest loser is Nardi in the Toro Rosso. He's down 7 places from his starting position. He also is on super soft tyres, having started in the top 10, so not too good for him, but great start from Leon. And at the moment we've still got the entire 17 cars covered by 11 seconds, so it is still pretty much a huge train as I'm watching them coming through the chicane to end lap number 4 and head on to lap 5, heading down one more time to La Source and heading to Rouge. Who fancies a go this time? Can Jarno get the run this time, or is Tim going to keep the battery saved up? He's got it turned up to hot lap mode now to power away as quickly as he can, heading towards Eau Rouge. Jarno's doing the same though. He's got the battery turned up also. A little bit of a wiggle it looked like there on my screen from the Ferrari. Held it nicely, and now the Ferrari is going to have to defend as well, because the other Williams, Roy, is fancying the chances, so looking to the outside, but Tim again holds on. Roy's going up the inside into the comms. Can he get the move done? No, Jarno holds on there to that one, and it stays as you were. Next made his way past Slimbo, as
and the wall goes the McLaren. That's Hugo off, and that there is a very nasty one indeed. Wrecked the entire right side of that car, have gone the curb. I mentioned earlier how that corner can catch you out, and unfortunately we mentioned there rules still in this race. Well, no more. Hugo with an absolutely monumental off there, getting on those curbs and into the wall and out of the Grand Prix. Well, that's Lee now up into 16th, I suppose. Only 17 runners there, but so far very good there from Tim. He's opening that gap immediately, so I think he's starting to bolt it. Jarno rather just being cautious, not using his ERS too much. That runs a bit wide. Now he's going to use it, as he knows how quick that Williams is behind him.
Definitely so, and not a shame there for Hugo, because he was up quite far in the field there, up around, I think it was 6th place he was in, so he was looking pretty nice at the moment, but huge shunt there takes him out of the race. His teammates trying to get by Slimbo, that's over 14th and 15th. Oh, a little bit of a bumping match side by side through Blanchimon there, but the McLaren does get ahead. Clarkey sneaked by on Leon as well, who's been trying to attack the Renault, and now he's got the inside line. So is Mercedes going to get through? No, he doesn't. And
it's going to be contact, I think.
Oh, where is that going? That was a Salba and a Ferrari. That was Shelley and Danny leaving it very late up the inside into La Source. How nobody ended up in a huge shunt in the wall, I will never know, but everybody carries on for now.
Top 3 going at it again, and DRS on all of them. This is kind of helping here. And look at Jarno, he's had a massive run then. Can he go around the outside? No, can't do it. Thinks better of it this time around though. Runs himself out right though, and now Tim's in trouble, and now they're going to squeeze each other out. Right and Roy now on the inside. Can he get the braking done? Down the inside he goes. Now he'll squeeze him wide. He'll open the steering up, force him out wide. Does do so then, and up into a 1-2 for Williams Jim then. And that is what Tim and Roy needed immediately off the start of this race. And finally, 1-2. Now, they're going to try and run away with it, do you think, Andy?
Well, you never know. I mean, they certainly know they've got the pace, but we know Jarno can keep up with them as well. Depends on what his setup is. If he's struggling with the tyres, maybe, who knows. But he needs to stick with those Williams boys, because they're going to now use each other, use Slipstream, use the DRS, I would imagine, tactically, to stay ahead of the Ferrari driver. And that's exactly what they want to do. Pit stop phase won't be too far away, but the top 4 have kind of pulled away from everyone else. Lucas just on the back here. He's now having a look at Jarno as they head up towards Blanchimon. No way through on the outside there, has to back out of it, but these guys are now 2.5 seconds clear of anybody else. It's Dondos got himself up into 5th place in the Salba. He's ahead of Clarkey with Danny in 7th, and Tim has gone into pit lane. So there's the first pit stop, and Jarno and Lucas have followed as well. So here we go, pit stop window well and truly opened.
Well, let's see then. First of all, it'll be the Ferrari in first. The Williams might get held up here by the Alpha if he's not too careful, the Renault as well. So let's have a look. Was Jarno going to come out ahead here? No, he's not. He's just going to slot behind. But look who's ahead of all of them. Lucas has jumped all 2 of them then. So that there is a beautiful stop for Lucas, and he's jumped not only Tim, he's jumped Yano as well. So spectacular work from the Toro Rosso crew, and they've got 2 positions in the pit stops. That is absolutely beautiful. Now he can go and try and chase after Roy.
Definitely so, brilliant stuff there. That's exactly the kind of thing that you want to happen in the pit lane. You want to get the jump, and that's worked out absolutely beautifully for Lucas as well, so he'll be absolutely delighted with that. Obviously, no surprises to see absolutely everybody that's been into the pits so far. We've seen Clarky and Donboss has been in as well. Arisi and Nadi pitted on the previous lap, and Leon's been in too, so pit stop phase well underway. But Lucas now technically has the net lead of the race if he can stay within that sort of 20-second window that he's in at the moment, because that's roughly how long it takes to make a pit stop round here. And I would expect to see Roy and Shelley, who are the only 2 drivers left on the track on the super softs, to be in at the end of this. Slimbo's on the soft. I'd expect to see him go just into lap 10, lap 12. The medium tyres we're going to see around about 14 to 16, I would imagine, so it's going to be a bit of time before this all settles out. But at the moment, Lucas is looking pretty good for the net lead of the race as we come towards the end, as the Nix just flew by Shelley through Blanchimon there. I just caught the end of that there, and he had so much more speed in that Haas, and he had the move done into Blanchimon and came out the other side clean. And Shelley, yep, tyres going off into pit lane. Roy's gone on for another lap though. Interesting.
That's going to cost him a bit of time here. That will cost him the leader of this race, unless we get something happen here. Something spectacular has to happen if he wants to retain the lead. So here we go. Let Lucas ahead of Tim, ahead of Yano. So those 3 starting opening up a little bit now. The gap's opening. We now have powerful DRS around this circuit. Those who never count anything. Behind him there we've got Clarky, who I believe he's just stopped. He's come back out then. So he's just behind him as well. He's not too far behind the Ferrari driver. So we could see some excitement there. We've got Alonso battling away there with Barry. Barry are up to P4 in this race. So doing the strategy as well, of course, yet to stop as well. So everyone's starting to come through then. So top 4 yet to stop. We've got Lee battling away with Simbo. Those guys have been battling away most of this race. Soft versus mediums. And I think, of course, those soft tyres going off a little bit more now than the medium tyres. Expecting to come in probably another 5 odd laps, I imagine. Let's see what Roy can do. Can he gain time? That is the question. We've seen overcuts work around here, but it's honestly hard to imagine so. But let's see. You can see that Tim Lucas getting closer and closer. So Andy, you've got to wonder who is going to come out of the lead of this race. Do you think that Roy can do the overcut?
Well, I mean, a certain Mr. JDTRL Linux thinks that he's got time to gain, but at the moment he's actually losing time. Lucas has now got the gap down to the lead to 17.5 seconds, so Lucas is going to come out in the lead of this race at the end. Roy is now in pit lane, and I think Roy could find himself behind his teammate Jarno and probably even Clarky as well. Staying out those extra couple of laps I don't think is going to work. We're going to find out in a moment's time though, because the Williams driver is into the pit lane. Soft compound tyres as well too, so he's gone for something a little bit different to everyone else who's been putting the medium tyres on. He's gone for the yellow marked softs, and we'll see where he comes out, coming through last source, and he's going to just sneak out ahead nearly. Lucas has just got it, so the pit lane time not quite as much as I was expecting. Lucas does get ahead. That nearly worked for Roy. I thought it was going to take a bit longer in pit lane, but now he's got the run up the hill, and he's going to have DRS as well, and this could be absolutely pinpoint accuracy from the Williams driver, and indeed he flies back into the lead of the race. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to take a bit longer in the pit lane, thought it would come out behind a few other drivers, but no, it's worked out absolutely perfectly for him, and he's now back into the net lead of the race. But the top 3 are still as close together as it's been earlier on. But it's Danny leading at the moment on the medium tyre. Quibble in 5th, Lee Finley in 6th. The top 6.
Oh, look at that side by side there. That is Lee and Simba. Now, those 2 could really, if they stay out a bit longer, they're going to hold up this group. So we could see a bit of excitement down into the first couple of corners. So look, Lee's 2, old tyres, everyone else on new tyres. This could be very interesting to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all in the same camera shot there. This is going to be slipstream time then, so Roy's going to have to try and jump Lee straight away, then force him to go around the outside, down towards Blancimont. That's going to be brave around the outside with those newer tyres. He should have the speed. Has he gone off the circuit? Yes, he has gone off the circuit. As they battle away, then this is going to hold him up. And now look at Lucas going around the outside. He's going to try the comeback here as they're all getting held up. Contact to the last corner. Ryan Lee battling away. Slipstream, DRS is going to be on all three of them. Just low, retains the lead here. He's going to have up the inside there a Lee who's going to be completely defensive even with the DRS, and he's going to come through now. They're going to have to battle away, and as well as in the background, look at them all battling away as all of a sudden Tim's all the back of Lucas, and Lucas here could have capitalised on that, just couldn't, and now we have a car in between this battle, and that there was very fortunate for Roy. But here he goes, DRS is going to be activated. I think Lee's going to come straight back at him. Yes, he is, round the outside. In the background there, we can see also battling. Lee's gone right round the outside of him, has he? Oh, he's just going to squeeze him off on the exit. Does get back through though, and this is costing him huge time. The top four all stuck in this train here behind Lee right now. He's doing what he needs to do. He's doing a beautiful job as well at it. Because look, all of a sudden, he's got everyone who was ahead of him stuck behind him, and this is going to be infuriating Roy right now.
Definitely so, the Scotsman just playing an absolute spoiler to the lead group's party at the moment. He's on that alternate strategy, he's racing his own race, he doesn't want to lose too much time battling this kind of battle, but at the same time he'll want to stay ahead, show what he can do as well, and slipstreaming back through with the DRS into the comms. But Roy will need, he wants by ASAP. He's got Lucas right up his exhaust, he's got Tim right up his, Jarno's right there as well.
Right, so it's cut over you. Oh, around the outside, here we go, and this is prime opportunity. He's going to try and get one car. Can he get two? Is it going two abreast? Then down towards Blancimont. They're almost trying to make it free there for a second. Now they come through up the inside leg. They all go. Down the inside goes the Williams. He gets rammed there from the Haas. There goes the other Williams up the inside. They're all going all carnage there into the corner. They all just somehow come through. Now Jarno, out of all of this, he's just sitting there in the background, wondering if he can get any of these positions as well. Up the inside he goes. Up the inside of one, he has contact with the other car of Roy, and he just manages to get the car turned in with the contact. Side by side though, down towards El Rude, just backs off of it though. This is absolutely beautiful stuff. Now here we go, Jarno, DRS trade down towards Lecom. Is he going to get enough speed then? I think because Roy's got DRS off of Lucas. And let's see, is he close enough to try one into the corner? No, he's a bit too far back, but around the outside, there goes Tim. Has he got around the outside of Jarno? I think just about. Has he still got it? No, hasn't got it on the exit. Beautiful defending, beautiful attacking, and look at them all catching behind as well, as that is just how much Lee has cost Lee's leaders right now. Absolutely spectacular stuff between all four of them as they all continue to push on to the track limits.
What that move from Lucas, so getting the two of them through Blancimont, phenomenal stuff. Lee messed up his braking a little bit, though, bumped into the back, so hopefully no damage for any of them around as well. But that was something else there. It was all going off. Jarno chucked one up the inside into La Source. He's lucky he's not picked up any wing damage on the back of that one as well, and just absolutely mayhem all over the place. Fantastic stuff. But Lucas so opportunistic there, getting ahead of both Roy and getting round Lee Finlay as well into Blancimont with a beautifully opportunistic move. But all this is done, if you look behind now, you've got Danny coming up as well in the other Ferrari. Clarkie's not far behind, they're having a wee bit of a fight as well. They're not too far off the back of these guys now, having Danny's just came out of pit lane on that previous lap as everything went off, so he's now on what's got to be the freshest set of tyres on the track just now, so I need to keep an eye on his progress going forward. Lee Finlay is headed for pit lane, so he's had enough of those medium tyres. I wonder if he's got damage to that front wing. I'm going to have a wee look at the Haas driver as he pits just now. He does, yeah. That's going to be from hitting the back of Lucas's car. As Speed Barry's just slipstream DRS, an absolute slam dunk. Give the man a cup of tea in the newspaper. He's been able to get that one done.
Meanwhile, Roy's going to go back 4 then, up to P3 there as he goes up the inside there. Lucas, DRS working a treat there down the straight. Rather unfortunate for Lucas there, didn't have the speed, getting good the best exit out of the source, and that has cost him more time. Top 2 yet to stop, of course, Barry and Alonso, like you mentioned, as those two battle away. But Roy, Lucas, Jarno, Tim, Danny and Nick as well, all together almost there now because of that battle. I suppose actually Danny there rather drop back a little. What's happened to Clarky, by the way? Because he's now dropped behind Nick, so Nick somehow got through in the meantime on those soft tyres, because they'll be going a lot quicker, possibly till the end of this race if they can do it. But now we have a battle for the lead of this race. We expect them to come in low, and in the next, probably about, say, 3-4 laps, do you think?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Top two would be about another somewhere between 3 to 4 laps, I would imagine. So Barry leads at the moment, having just slipstreamed DRS on Alonso up to Lecom's. Pretty easily done, as I say, well before the braking zone. And obviously we've seen Roy slipstreamed by Lucas as well to take the lead off the race. And Speed Barry's headed for pit lane, so he's decided on an earlier stop. He wants to get in now and get this fresh set of tyres on while he's got the opportunity. So that's going to release Alonso back into the lead. He's got 4 now, about, let's see what's the gap once it changes by. I think it's about 7 or 8 seconds at the moment before you come across the likes of Roy, Lucas, Jarno, Tim and Danny, who are currently now 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. And you can see the train of them almost in one camera shot in places as they come down the hill towards Lecom. And Roy has managed to get himself a little bit of a gap, nearly out of DRS range now as well on Lucas. So Lucas will want to try and close that gap back up as quickly as possible, or he risks being defensive to Jarno behind, who will serve DRS, because if Lucas falls out of DRS range, he's not going to have that help, and that's going to leave him exposed completely. Nick's just flew by Danny up into Lecoms as well with the DRS. Another easy move done there, as Shelley is fighting with Speed Barry, who's just came back out of the pit lane on his fresh set of soft tyres in 11th place. So we'll keep an eye on his progress towards the end of this race. 17.5 seconds off the lead. He's only about 11 seconds off of Roy as well, so this is still anybody's. Anybody could take any of these points at the moment, and it's going to be an interesting race right to the flag. And I'm going to take a wee moment now to see what, because I've lost track of it. I've tried my best to keep up, so carry on for a moment, Evil. I'm going to see what I can do.
Oh, I know Leon's got about 3 to 6 seconds. He's got 3 seconds just there, actually, on topic of penalties. So I think we've cursed someone getting penalties. But yeah, right now, he's starting to open the gap. He's got 1.2, so all of a sudden, he's just found some pace in the Williams, and he's bolted immediately from the Toro Rosso. Ferrari there as well, was ahead of the other Williams there of Tim. I don't know if he's got any damage potentially from the contact. I think he was the one, might have been rear-ended there. I'm not too certain which Williams it was, or if it was the Toro Rosso. Hard to say. We've got a car out, and it's Lee. He's gone off the road somewhere in the last couple of corners. I think that's gone out of Puon, so that's not gone well for Lee then. So anything he's finding right now is the barrier or something then. Meanwhile, Alonso in the pit lane again. Now, I think there might have been contact. Hard to say if they were together or not, but Alonso in the pit. He's just come back out as well, so interesting stuff there. Meanwhile, battle there between the Haas and the Ferrari, and that there is Danny and Nick battling again, and Nick behind Danny again. Clarky, meanwhile, who was battling them just a few laps ago, now finds himself behind. Barry and Dordos battling away, and that there is now Barry up to P9 on his fresh set of tyres. Behind him there, Alonso as well, flying through, and he's battling with Shelley. So those guys all battling together on that alternative strategy. But we have, of course, Danny, Tim, Jarno, Lucas and Roy, your top 4 drivers, and they're the ones we're kind of looking at right now. Are we going to see more battles for the end of this race? Well, Jarno's keeping with Lucas right now, and Lucas has lost that all important DRS there. You can see the damage done, so there's definitely been more than one car involved. So I think, yes, definitely someone else crashed with them. But right now, Jarno, he's going to try his best to close up and get P2. That's what he wants right now. Damage is going to be the important thing. Can he get the reduction of it by just getting that P2? Keep up with the championship lead, and this is what he just needs to be right now. Getting closer all the time to the back of Lucas. Lucas is going to be very defensive here because he hasn't got that DRS, Andy.
No, he's not in the greatest place, having fell out of range, and that's definitely not what he wanted. Roy's just found some pace there in the last couple of laps and just got himself out of the DRS range. It does leave Lucas pretty exposed now with no DRS to assist him on Jarno. Jarno will now be trying to line up the Toro Rosso as soon as possible, but he did it in the F1 race there on Sunday night in Bahrain. He was just playing him and his teammate, and Lucas, I think it was Lucas if I remember correctly as well, yeah it was, the three of them were so much quicker than everyone else, and they're just playing it nice and easy, just playing it, you know, simple. And maybe Jarno's just leaving it a wee bit just to keep the tyres fresh for later on in the race. Nick and Danny still having a bit of a battle behind in 5th and 6th. So that's Nick back ahead of Danny at the moment. Speed Barry's still in 9th place. He's chasing down Arisi for 8th. Alonso's trying to close back up to him as well, having now got past both the Sauber drivers of Dondos and Shelley. So he's now using his fresh tyres from his pit stop to try and get back up the order. But Roy found the pace when he needed it. He's got 1.5 seconds nearly on Lucas, and that's exactly what he needs at this point. So now he can be a wee bit more careful in where he picks his apex points and everything, and just keep that gap. And if he can stay out of DRS range, you've got to think, without trying to be a commentator's curse, that it's his race to lose now.
And there it is, his race to lose. Well, Alonso's got a penalty. Got to say, Nick and Danny, by the way, they're up way more positions than I expected. I think they're up 8 or something already, at 7 positions, the pair of them up in this race. So they're kind of done a beautiful job just to pull away from the rest of the guys behind. They've just had the pace, they've just had the speed, of course. Teammates to the other guys as well. Nick, of course, teammate to Sinber, if I'm not mistaken, as well. He's having a bit of a struggle down the back, and actually Nick Kofar, fastest lap as well. He's catching these top guys, so never say never for this podium. Anything can happen right now, as we've still got Tim, Jarno and Lucas all together, and you can just see that 2 seconds almost now has got right the gap. He's bolting right now, and surely he's on course for a victory, unless something simply horrific happens here. Here we go, then DRS down towards the corner. He's round the outside there, thinking about it. There is Tim. Can he do it? He's side by side there. Let's see, can he try it? He's not going to do it there. Things better Robin. Now he tries to get a good exit. He tried this earlier on in the race and it pulled it off, but can't do it this time around. Not too close as well as Lucas. What they really need to do right now is try and dummy each other and try and force them into a mistake. That's not going to be easy. Like, these drivers, they know what they're doing. Nardi's has got a penalty as well. He's had a shocking race as well. He's way down the field. So, and compared to Lucas as well, so I don't know what's happened to him. He's maybe made an extra stop or something. He's 36 seconds off the lead, but definitely struggling. But Jarno doing what he needs to do right now, just covering off that position. And behind them, we got Nick and Danny closing up like Hell's Gate on them, and this could be very interesting before the end of this race. We've got, what, 6 laps to go if not. So, let's see what they can do. I think possibly if they've got the pace, they're about half a second quicker a lap, they could just catch.
They could do indeed, as Alonso and Arisi are going side by side into Blanchimont. McLaren is ahead though and got the move done. Last time by, Speed Barry sneaked up the inside of Arisi into the bus stop chicane and made a nice little move that put him up into 8th place. But you never know what's going to happen at the end of this race. It's all up for grabs still. It's looking good for Roy at the moment up front. He's nearly 2 seconds clear now of Lucas, who's still got Jarno and Tim behind. Tim trying to go around the outside last time by there up the Lacombe. I'm going to see if he can do anything this time by Jarno, as it looks to be a lot closer this time. This should be a pretty easy move. Lucas goes to defend, but Jarno still gets the inside line and has got the move done, pulls back onto the braking line well ahead, and that is a simple, easy, textbook DRS move there from Jarno. Puts him up in the 2nd place. Now, can he make any inroads to Roy's lead now? Can he pull away from Lucas behind? Who knows? Speed Barry has just DRS'd his way past Clarkey. He's on the move as well in those fresher soft tyres. He's now up to 7th place, having started down the back of the field. He's made 10 places up in this race. Biggest gainer off the starting grid. Nardi, as you mentioned, 2 penalties, and the biggest loser, he has made 2 pit stops. Not sure what the 2nd stop was for. I'm guessing it'll be for damage, but I didn't catch anything on my side of things, so I'm not exactly sure what happened as Leon picks up another penalty to add to his collection. He's now made it a hat-trick. 3 second time penalties here this evening, but still plenty to go here, and Jarno looks like he might just have the pace here to pull away from Lucas. Lucas really needs to start keeping up. You've got to wonder, is the Toro Rosso driver maybe starting to struggle a little bit? They're on the same tyre wear. They pitted all on the same lap, these 3, Jarno, Lucas and Tim, but it seems to be that the Toro Rosso driver just doesn't seem to have the pace in this stage of the race at the moment. Roy has certainly got it though, but can Jarno do anything?
Yeah, in the background you can see the Haas and the Ferrari getting all out of step there. Almost Jim Carnering each other into the last corner. I think that's as normal as well. Just cars going sideways everywhere. But here we go, DRS down the straight up towards the famous Lecombe chicane, and already you can see Yarno, he's opening that gap a little bit now. He's got 6 temps, and behind them here we got Tim, who's going to close up very quickly now. He'll be a little bit too far ahead, I think. Yeah, he's not going to close up as much, of course. DRS may be powerful, not too powerful around Spa. Now it used to be very powerful, not as much, but still very powerful. You haven't got it. But either way, let's see. We've got Lucas, we've got Tim behind them, Nick and Danny. They're closing up very quickly, like I mentioned earlier. Behind them, we got Barry Alonso. Shelley just got past his teammates there of Dordos then. So those two switching around for the 6th time, I think. They've been having quite a little bit of battle between those two. Both paired very evenly, and they're kind of well away from Leon, Simba and Nardi as well. So those guys have got it all to lose as well. Talking about losing, Shelley just gets a penalty on cue. So, well, commentator cursed that. And that's not really wanting to find them to see them. So they don't want penalties, but they've got a bit of a gap behind, about 8 seconds between those two and CPL Leon. So they've got it all to work for, and you can see right now Tim is just seemed to be dropping back as well. So it looks like the tyres are all starting to go off between these top 4. But right now, he's going to be struggling as well. Those tyres, Andy, are definitely not going to be feeling very fresh soon, are they? Because they've been going almost as long as the other guys, and they're definitely going to be raring.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be getting to second hand by about this point now. 12 laps they've done now on those tyres as we start lap 19 to 22. So if my maths is correct, it's 4 to go, including the one they're on. And Riano has closed the gap to Roy a little bit. He's gained a couple of times in that last lap. It was 1.8, it's now 1.5. So you got to wonder, has the Ferrari driver maybe got a little bit of pace? Lucas has stuck with just enough to stay in DRS range, and he's just far enough away from Tim at the moment to avoid being attacked. Nick and Danny are still just behind them. They're not too far back either, as the two Renault boys, Arisi and Clarkey, swap positions. So we've got the two Renault teammates, the two Sauber teammates having their own wee personal battles over 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th down the field. Alonso's catching up to the back of Speed Barry as well.
Yeah, just noticed as you were talking about battling, actually, Shelley just completely went off at the com there. I don't know what happened there. He must have locked up or something, but just cut straight across the grass as Simbo gets a penalty. Like you mentioned, we've got Renault, then we got the Saubers, and then behind them we've got the Mercedes there of Leon. We got Simbo and Nardi, but so far so good for the Williams boys. They had their own personal scrap earlier on, but right now we have Jarno starting to catch. Now he's just pulling away that 1 second gap between Lucas and Jarno. That's not what Lucas wants. He wants that gap to be within a second desperately, because he knows if he's out a second, Tim is going to be flying at him like a bat out of hell. And I feel that Tim could close and possibly pass him here if he hasn't got the DRS, because let's see, he has to be about 4 temps behind if he wants some real opportunity without the DRS for Lucas. Let's see what he can do. He's just in it, and this is all just helping him right now. 3 laps to go here around beautiful Spa. This is turning into quite an interesting race right now. Oh, not for the lead right now, because it looks to me like Roy's just kind of maintaining the gap right now, but for second and third, and almost fourth as well. Second, third and fourth are all still together. They're all still to battle for as well. Here we go, DRS. He's now not available for Lucas, but again, Tim just has not got the speed down that straight to close up. Meanwhile, Alonso passing up the inside there of Barry, so he gets back into 7th position then. Barry's starting to drop off a little bit in this race all of a sudden now, as Tordos and Shelley continue their scrap, down for 11th and 12th. Maybe not scrapping for points, but they're scrapping for almost team leadership, I suppose, of the Sauber team. They're going to go for cover off in the process.
Yeah, a bit of inter-team between those two, just outside of the points paying position. But got to say, Nick, Danny, Alonso and Speed Barry, although Speed Barry does seem to be struggling a little bit on those soft tyres now. 7, 8 and 9 places respectively gained off of their starting positions, so I've got to give them a shout because that's absolutely brilliant stuff that they've done. Roy's gained 4 places, he's the next big gainer, and of course he's in the position that everybody wants to have. He's in the lead of the race as we come up to start the penultimate lap just now, lap 21 of 22 here, and Lucas is out of that DRS range as well, so he is now completely exposed to the whim and whimsical of Tim, who's going to have DRS. He's going to have battery power as well. I don't know how much he's saved, or he's got slightly more than Lucas does, so the Toro Rosso now heading up to Rouge Radion and up towards Lecombe is going to be absolutely defenceless, you've got to feel, and the Williams is a lot closer now than he has been in previous laps. So let's see, heading up the hill, 195 miles an hour as they rise over the crest of Radion. The slipstream is working, the DRS comes now, opens up the slot in the rear wing, and Lucas goes to the inside, but that Williams is just going to breeze on past, and that is another example of just how powerful DRS can be. And Tim now moves up into 3rd place, so Lucas, having been in the lead of the race at one point after the pit stop phase battled itself out, is now dropped down to 4th place and outside of the podium. Danny has got himself back ahead of Nick in that scrap, and Shelley and Dorndos are still having a fight over that Intel team rivalry over the FEP bragging rights in 11th and 12th. But Lucas will be obviously a bit disappointed at the moment of how things have gone. He looked like he might have been on for a chance of winning here tonight at one point, but in these later stages of the race he's just sort of dropped off, just lost the pace. Maybe the tyres have gone away from him and he's gone from being in 1st place down to 4th place, but still going to pick up some decent points for his team, so that's the most important thing at the end of the day, because it is a team event of course in this event. But Roy got 1.6 seconds over Jarno as we're about to start the last lap of this race.
Yeah, good pace from Alonso right now, because we know Danny has a penalty. Don't know if Alonso has, so Alonso could get 6th. If he's not too careful, he could try and get 5th as well, technically, because I don't know if Nick's got a penalty or not. I don't think he has, but here we are then. Last lap of this race. Roy, and this is going to be a bit of a strategy if he manages to pull it off as well, on Lowe's softer compound. He picked up just 2 laps after the other guys, so the tyres aren't going to be very healthy, but they're holding on just enough. Jarno and Tim, as they come up our route as well. Lucas is going to have the DRS back at him again, so we're going to see one more attempt. Tim will have to cover the inside. He might just try and cover the middle a little bit then. Try and break the DRS. There we go. He pulls off a little bit then. Weaves a tiny bit. Now he'll go defensive properly. Round the outside. Can he do it? On to the last lap. We brave round the outside. Careful, boys, not to hit each other then. Around the outside, can he do it? No, he can't. So he doesn't do it this time around then. He still has an opportunity then down towards the bus stop eventually when we get there, if he can keep with him. So it's not over until the fat lady sings. Jarno has himself a penalty, and that is going to chuck him possibly off of the podium here. Let's just see. He's going to have a mega scrap behind if he's going to get this.
Definitely so, and he's the only one of the top 4 that's got a penalty, so this could cost him the podium. As you say, Alonso's going to drop behind Nick and Speed Barry because they've not got Nick's not got a penalty, Barry's only got 1, Alonso's got 2, so he's going to drop down a little bit. But Roy heading up towards Blanchimont for the final time. We'll keep an eye on the standings as they come by, but it's been a very good race from the Williams driver as he comes up towards the bus stop Shane for the final time. He's done exactly what he needed to do, gained 4 places and finishes in 1st place. And Williams Jim Roy wins in Belgium, but who's taking the other podium positions? Jarno over in 2nd, but it's going to be Tim who takes 2nd place. Jarno does hold the podium 4th. Lucas decides he's had enough of that car and punts it. Danny takes 5th. Alonso drops to 8th, having come across the line in 6th, as Nick goes up to 5th, Danny 6th, Barry 7th, Alonso 8th, Clarkey 9th, Arisi in 10th, Dorndos and Shelley 11th and 12th. Leon coming up to finish the lap now, but he's going to drop behind Slimbo because he's got 5 separate penalties as Leon, so he's going to drop down the order pretty quickly. Slimbo takes 13th, Leon 14th, and Nardi, what could have been considering where he started in the top 10, he finishes down and well outside the points. But beautifully crafted race in my opinion from Roy. Done what he needed to do, stayed close enough, made the overcut work very well, which I didn't expect to happen, and he's taken a phenomenal victory here, and that is more brilliant points on the board for Williams. A 1-2 as well.
You got to wonder if Lucas didn't do that spin. He could have still got that podium, of course. He was just on the cusp of that 3-second window, so you've got to question it. Was that the right choice of thing to do? We'll never know, but either way, didn't finish. Anything could happen. Unfortunately, he ended up spinning into the wall. Well, Williams on the top step of the podium then, and not only that, they're going to be very, very happy with a 1-2 then. So right ahead of Tim then, Jarno third with that penalty earlier on, Lucas in fourth, Nick in fifth, Danny in sixth, Barry ahead of Alonso, Clarkey ahead of Aracy, then we got Dordos and Shelley, Simbo ahead of Nardi, Leon, then we got Lee, and Hugo. The only other retirement with Lee out of this race. Gotta say, Andy, this was an absolutely spectacular race, not only for the battle up front, for the battle for the midfield as well. It was top and turvy, drama, excitement, and you can only wonder what the rest of the races are going to be like.
Well, definitely. So it's been, we've seen some phenomenal action through this team event so far, and we've just seen some more brilliant racing. I always do this in any of the streams I do. Well done to all the drivers who didn't pick up any penalties at all during the race. There was quite a number there who didn't do so, and I always like to point that out during any racing I do. So well done to them. But Williams increased their lead in the standings. They came into this on 123 points. A 1-2 gives them 43 points extra, takes them up to 166. Ferrari gain some extra points as well, but they've now dropped a little bit further behind Williams. I'm trying to do the maths, but unfortunately my mental arithmetic isn't quite good enough. I didn't quite get it done in time. But the top three will still be the same, but Williams now have a much bigger lead than what they did before they came into tonight's proceedings. Obviously dependent, of course, as long as there's no stewards changes at a later point. But brilliant drive from Roy. Sorry, was it Tim? I'm getting mixed up. Was it? It's been too long a race. I forgot. Yeah, the Williams boys. Either way, they done brilliant. It was phenomenal stuff, and congratulations to them on another phenomenal night of racing for them. Another 1-2.
Yeah, Roy, of course, rounds out the round with yet more gold and more silver for Williams as well. Well, that's been from me and Andy today. Possibly we'll see you next time. Who knows who's going to be next time? But if it's us, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us here for Apex Online Racing. Until next time, take care and goodbye.